Hello everybody and welcome back. Just wanted to give an update. I don't think many people saw my post from the other day. I announced the winner, the $20 eShop card that I was giving away for the 100 subscribers, and show me your moves. You are the winner. If you could get back to me as soon as possible, email me at the link below here and I will send you the code. Thank you, everyone. Again, we're up to 120 subscribers last time I looked, which is just awesome. It's just, you guys are so awesome, and I really appreciate it. With that out of the way, I wanted to get to a very, very, very special episode for me today. My 10 favorite games ever. And I'm going to do 2 honorable mentions first, I guess, and then we will get into it. Thank you, everyone, again, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and let's just keep going. All right, without further ado, we're going to start with the honorable mentions here. Okay, the 2 first honorable mentions that just didn't quite make the list, but are still wonderful games that deserve to be played by everyone. The first one is Rayman Legends. I personally think this is probably the best 2D platformer other than Donkey Kong Country 2, or the Donkey Kong Country series in general. I love these games. I rebought it again on the Switch, the definitive edition that has all the DLC characters and everything. Well, I can't say enough good about this. I'm not going to ramble on too much, but if you happen to not play this, you owe it to yourself to play it. It's on every system, pretty much, and you could probably get it pretty cheap nowadays, but just an absolutely awesome 2D platformer. I highly recommend it. Okay, and another one that just missed the list that I still need to finish, but it's an amazing game what I've played so far. I didn't know that I would like it this much, but that is Persona 5 Royal. Yeah, this is a great game. I know it just takes a long time to get through, and I'm kind of still on a boss that I was talking about last time that I need to grind for, and I think I need to get a win Persona that's a little leveled up to be able to get through it, honestly, but that's neither here nor there. If you've happened to not play this too, you owe it to yourself. This game is so awesome. I just can't praise this game enough. It deserves to be played by everyone too. I never thought that I would enjoy the social aspect of it, but I always found myself looking forward to the social aspect as much as the actual gameplay or the actual fighting mechanics and stuff in it. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. It's such a great game. Okay, now we're getting into the list, and I just want to say that these are in no particular order. The only one I can say that definitively is my favorite game of all time, I'm just going to start with, and that would be Donkey Kong Country 2. What can I say about this game? I still remember getting it Christmas in '94, I believe is when it came out, and I was 10. Just literally loved the crap out of this game from the moment I saw it. It was so mind-blowing back then, of course, with the graphics that they were doing and everything. I remember not being able to beat it, so my father at the time, probably some of the last games he's actually played, I remember him beating it for me. It wasn't until much later that I was able to beat it, and now, of course, I beat it 1,000 times. But it is the one game I can definitively say that it is my all-time favorite game of all time. The rest of these kind of just are in no particular order, so I have to give it to Donkey Kong Country 2. It's not just nostalgia. The music in this game is absolutely fantastic. I still listen to it all the time. The gameplay's there. It is a perfect sequel, in my opinion, a perfect 2D platformer, and it deserves to be played by everyone. If you've not played it before, I highly recommend the whole series. I think they progressively got, worse after 2, and honestly, I would say it's 2, 1, and then 3. But they're all great games nonetheless. But Donkey Kong Country 2, just for me, is just the pinnacle of 2D platformers for me. Okay, the next one, I'm just going to go down the list here. Again, these are in no particular order, but the next one here, Cuphead. Oh man, when I first saw this game, I was just blown away that somebody was making a game that looked, like an old school cartoon and had the old swing music to go with it, and the animation, everything, the difficulty. It's an awesome game. It can be frustrating at times, but it is certainly one for the books, and certainly one that I knew would be in my top 10 games of all time, in this list. It just has to be. I was so happy that the DLC finally came out. I just recently ordered I think IM 8-Bit is doing a big collector's edition with like a little marionette puppet of Cuphead and stuff, so I'm really happy to get that here Probably in the springtime, I imagine I'll get that, but just can't say enough great things about this game. The studio that did this, the two brothers and their extended family and stuff, they just, hats off to them. They just did a phenomenal job on this game, and you can't ask for anything better. And it marries some of the things I love, old animation and the old swing music. It marries those things perfectly, and it's just a great game. Okay, moving on. The next one. Oh, this is a fantastic game as well. And that is Shadow of the Colossus. Another wonderful soundtrack to a game. Oh my gosh, the prologue music alone. Every other time I hear it, I end up in tears. It's just such a bittersweet game and such a bittersweet soundtrack. If you have happened to not play this, the PS4 remake that Bluepoint did a number of years back was just absolutely perfect. It is the definitive way to play the game. I highly suggest this game, and it can be beat in not a whole lot of time. Maybe for a first-time player, it might take you a little bit longer, but I could see this as being the precursor for me for games like Elden Ring and Dark Souls and all that kind of stuff, back in the day. I love this game on the PS2, and now I never played the HD remaster that they did on the PS3, and I'm glad I waited until the PS4, but I just remember loading it up and just being in awe again of this game. It's definitely one of my favorites for a reason. The controls are not the best, but I would say that's probably the only downside to this game. Again, if you've not played this, you owe it to yourself to play it. Okay, the next one. This is an Xbox original game that I don't know why this hasn't been remastered. Maybe it wasn't, popular enough, but that is Panzer Dragoon Orta. I don't even know why I love this game so much, but when I was younger, I really loved this game. It was one of my favorite Xbox original games that I had, so it's just an on-rail shooter. It's nothing special, and some might even be like, well, why is it in here with all these other ones? But this is my list, and I just have a nostalgic and just a love for it. I can't really explain it why, but I just love this game. I recently found it not too long ago, I guess, for a pretty decent price. It can be pretty pricey at times, so if you do not have it and you're interested in it, I would scoop it up as soon as possible because you could possibly miss out. Okay, the next one. This is a fantastic game that I'm so glad I got into this series, and now I've put it away for now, but over 600 hours into this game, it just speaks for itself, and that is Monster Hunter Rise. I love the customization in this game. I love the controls. I love playing multiple different weapons and how differently they play. I just couldn't get enough of this game once it clicked for me, and it definitely deserves to be on this list for me. Again, this is probably arguably not the best Monster Hunter in the series, but for someone that has just gotten into the series and now has moved to Monster Hunter World to try to check that out as well. This started a love for a series, and I will never forget it for that. And the countless hours I've had with my brother and friends and stuff playing online, it's just such a wonderful game. I can't praise it enough. Okay, the next one. This is another awesome game that I'm really upset it's getting a remaster on the PS5, and I won't be able to play it for a while, and that is Dead Space. I want to give a shout out to Dead Space 2 as well. I think it was a great sequel. There's just something special about the first Dead Space that I feel like just puts it a little bit over the top. Even the chase sequence in the beginning was crazy, and it just had a very Aliens vibe to it that I really loved. I love the Aliens movies, except for 3, obviously. It's hot garbage fire, but anyway. Dead Space, yeah. If you've happened to not play these and you have a PS5 or a new Xbox or PC, you'll be able to play the remaster here pretty soon. The original games still look fantastic. Visceral Games did an amazing job back in the day. I was just playing it on my 360 not long ago, and I just couldn't believe how good it looks. To be such an old game, it just blows me away. But sci-fi horror done right, can't go wrong with this. Love this freaking game. It's so good. The atmosphere and everything, just so great. And the next one. I remember playing this game and being very overwhelmed by the first 5 minutes of it. That is Mass Effect 2. I want to give a shout out to the whole trilogy. I enjoyed the whole trilogy, but I think 2 was the pinnacle of the trilogy, and I think, it could almost be its own standalone type story in a way. But I just really loved the loyalty missions. I just loved everything about this game. The music, the controls. They went away a little bit from the RPG nature of the first game and went a little bit more action heavy, and that would be the only complaint I think I have about it, that I wish it was a little bit more RPG focused. But other than that, I mean, amazing writing, amazing characters, amazing music, amazing graphics, just firing on all cylinders. This is back when BioWare was really the shit, in my opinion, and I just wish that Andromeda was half as good as this game. It would have sold a lot better, I'm sure. So if you're like me and you were disappointed by it and you haven't played this trilogy, it's a good time to get them on the newer systems. They remastered them, so definitely give it a shot. I definitely Mass Effect 2 and 3, but 2 I think again just edges it out just a little bit. Okay, we're getting down to the last 3 here, and again, these are in no particular order. I'm just kind of rambling on about some of my favorite games. So okay, the next one, an amazing Metroidvania that I almost didn't pick back up, and that is Hollow Knight. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this game when I first played it. I had even given it to a friend, and then it was on sale, and I bought it digitally again, and I'm like, you know what? This game is freaking awesome. I can't believe I ever put this down. And so then I went and got the collector's edition, and 80 hours later, I'm just so ready for Silksong. That's no detriment to this game because it's amazing. I couldn't believe how long it was and how big it was and how it just kept going and going. And I remember thinking like, oh, I'm about to the end of this, and then I find a whole another huge area, and I'm just like, wow, this game is just, it's impressive. For an indie game, it is so huge, and there's so much content for your money. Can't go wrong. If you've happened to not play Hollow Knight, it's one of the best Metroidvanias you could possibly ever play, and that's just no lie. Okay, the next one, I'm currently playing through this one, and I'm loving every second of it. It is very frustrating at times too, but that is Elden Ring. I want to give a shout out to Dark Souls 1. This was on the list, and it did give birth to a whole series of games, but I think Elden Ring is the pinnacle of everything they've done over the past 10, 11 years, and I just can't believe how amazingly huge and content-filled this game is, and any other studio would have charged you DLC and bit by bit and all this other crap, but From Software has knocked it out of the park as far as I'm concerned. I knew that I would love this game, but I didn't know I would love this game this much. I've not even completed a full run, and I've already started 2 other characters, just because I know how differently these games play with different builds, and I just can't wait to get back into this game. I've had to take a little break from it for now, just because I'm getting a little frustrated at a part that I'm at right now, but I can't speak highly enough about this game. It's no wonder it won Game of the Year. It totally deserves it, and I just can't say enough great stuff about it. Elden Ring is just a fantastic game. I think you can literally see every bit of the Soul series, Bloodborne, Sekiro, all that. You can see that in the game, and it's so refined and so perfect, in my opinion. It's a dark fantasy RPG that I've always kind of wanted, that I didn't even know that I necessarily needed like that, but if anybody's going to do it, it's FromSoft, and for me, they've almost ruined other studios' RPGs, in my opinion, because they put so much into it, and they are so talented that, and they do their difficulty so well that other games I almost can't play other RPGs. I've almost been spoiled by From Software, I must say, and it's a good and bad thing, but nevertheless, moving on. The last one, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Another fantastic RPG that, man, I just love this game so much. I never played an SMT game before this one, and I was just so happy when this finally clicked, and I was just like, man, this game is insane. It's so good. The demon collecting, the music, again, the soundtrack in this game is so good. I listen to it all the time, certain tracks especially, but just such a great game. I've since got 2 of my friends to play it, and they've enjoyed it thoroughly as well. It's one of the better JRPGs that you could play in a long time, and I'm so happy that I got into the series. I can't wait to see what they do next, and yeah, I'm really happy. It's just a great Nintendo exclusive, and I don't know if Nintendo plans on holding on to that, or it'll come to the PlayStation systems, or what's going to happen with that, but nevertheless, for now, it's what I think is the best Switch exclusive currently. So if you haven't played it, I highly suggest it. All right, that's going to be it. Thank you, everyone, for subscribing and sticking around and being patient with me when videos take a little longer. And, I don't do this full time, so it's hard sometimes to make time in my normal life to get it done. I would like to get full time with it at some point down the road, and maybe that can happen. But for now, I'm just having fun doing it, and just really in love and enjoy hearing and seeing the comments and responding to you guys and interacting with you guys and gals. And I just really appreciate the support. And here's to another 80 subscribers. We can get to 200 and beyond. And I just thank you guys all so much. It's been wonderful. You guys are great. And again, show me your moves. You are the winner. I need you to get a hold of me as soon as you can to receive your gift. All right, thank you, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.